With Austin's thriving economy and vibrant culture just around the corner, there are two fast growing neighboring communities that have become increasingly sought after destinations for those considering a move. As we dive into exactly where these communities are located, I'm going to highlight all of the important factors that you should consider, including cost of living, employment, education, lifestyle, and so many others to ultimately help you decide where you should live here in the greater Austin metro. So let's go ahead and jump right in. Before we talk about the exact cities I'm referencing, I'm going to give you an overview of the general location, though, to better orient you. Both cities are situated just south of Austin proper and fall within the confines of Hayes County, which is actually one of the fastest growing counties in the entire nation. Both of these spots have seen exponential growth over the past 5 years with large population and development booms that I'll talk about here with you today. Working our way south, the first spot I'm going to talk about is 15 miles south of downtown Austin, located along the I-35 corridor, which links Austin and San Antonio to one another. Situated between those two major cities, Austin and San Antonio, is a huge reason this has become such a high growth corridor in recent years. Diving into our first city, this was actually established back in 1881 as a very small railroad stop. And from there, it's really grown from those humble beginnings to a very thriving community that really does a good job of staying true to that small town charm and original heritage. Now, this city is known as the City of Buda. And yes, it seems like it would be pronounced Buddha, but it is definitely Buda. Today, Buda's population is roughly 17,000 people, and it's known as the outdoor capital of Texas because of the numerous parks and plenty of other opportunities to explore the outdoors in the surrounding areas. In recent years, Buda's population has increased by 14%, which surprisingly is still not as much as the next city that I'm going to cover here with you today. Part of the reason for this is that Buda actually covers a smaller land area of just 6 square miles. So city planners have really faced challenges with how to maximize that limited footprint that Buda offers. What's really exciting though is that after several years of study and analysis in the Buda area, Buda City Council actually adopted a long-awaited comprehensive plan just a few weeks ago. And the reason this is important is because this plan actually serves as a guidebook when making decisions related to zoning and future development in the areas. These are all very good things for you to know when considering a move to a particular location. In Buda, it's really important to point out that single-family residential homes makes up the largest land use identified in this new plan. So what it means for you is that we can expect to see many more rooftops springing up throughout the Buda area, specifically that rural patch of land that sits between South Austin and the next city that I'm about to dive into. Before I unveil the next city that is growing at an exponential rate, I want to quickly welcome you to the channel or back to the channel. My name is Aubrey von Behren, and I'm a licensed real estate broker here in the Austin metro. If you are looking to make a move, my team and I would love to be your real estate resource of choice. So be sure to reach out to us in the information below. And as always, if you're happy with the content, please like and subscribe. It really helps motivate me to keep putting together this content to ultimately make your move just a bit easier. You've been patiently waiting for the city south of Austin that has grown over 32% in the same amount of time as its neighboring city that I just mentioned, Buda. Now, at first glance, this is also very interesting because Buda is actually situated closer to Austin. So because of that, you would really expect the urban sprawl to follow that natural path, but in this case, it has not, and there's a reason why. Our next city is located 23 miles south of downtown, 8 miles south of Buda, and shares that same I-35 corridor that you find between Austin and San Antonio. Like Buda, this city has an incredibly rich history dating back to its origins as a small railroad town all the way in the late 1800s. In fact, these same rail lines actually still pass through both towns to this day and are really interwoven into the expanding communities. However, with a population of nearly 70,000 people, our next city's growth has dwarfed the neighboring city by 4 times the size. When you're driving south along I-35 out of Austin, it's very noticeable that new development has leapfrogged over Buda to really expand into this next city. And the primary reason for that is simply size. The city of Kyle, this is the second city that I'm going to mention today, covers 31 square miles of land in comparison to Buda's 6 square miles. So you can see there is much more room to develop businesses and, of course, new neighborhoods. Now that you really have a lay of the land, and before I highlight some of the most popular neighborhoods in both of these areas, cost of living has become increasingly important. And we all know that when it comes to this topic, housing expenses reign supreme. So I'm going to jump right into these. In comparison to the bustling city limits of Austin, both Buda and Kyle offer much more affordable housing options, which is a big reason for its growth. If you've tuned into my video highlighting some of the most affordable areas in Austin, you'll find that both of these cities are also on that list. At the end of last year, the median home prices stood at $414,000 in Buda and $350,000 in Kyle, a notable difference from Austin's $511,000 median price point. However, when comparing Buda to Kyle, Buda's proximity to Austin and the limited housing inventory actually is what contributes to its 18% higher median house price in comparison to the Kyle area. Additionally, property taxes in both towns actually averaged 2.3%, slightly higher than Austin's 2%. But be really careful though, because there are many pockets in both of these locations that actually have a higher tax rate resulting from the need for infrastructure and development due to the rapid growth in both locations. To really make sure you're aware of all of those nuances, because there are many of them, when making your next move, be sure to reach out to us so that ultimately my team and I can be your guide. So you might be wondering, well, what are the nicest and most affordable neighborhoods in both areas? Well, I definitely have you covered here, so let's jump right in. Let's explore some of the standout communities in both towns. In Buda, Elliott Ranch is one of the upscale communities that you'll find. It's a gated neighborhood comprised of roughly 200 residences and built in the early 2000s. Homes here typically span roughly 4,000 square feet. They're nestled on 1 to 3 acre lots and offer incredible privacy and a really nice, serene, more so country lifestyle, if you will. This community is mostly built out now, though, because it was built in the early 2000s, but existing homes in the neighborhood typically range between $1 to $1.5 million. On the flip side, the largest newer construction community in Buda with much more affordable options overall is called Sunfield. Just last year, there were more than 300 homes sold in the community of Sunfield, which actually earned it the title of fastest growing residential neighborhood in the entire Austin metro, if you can believe that. Let's dive into this further and see if it might be a community we should tour during your next move here to the Austin area. Sunfield is roughly a 2,800 acre master plan community located on the east side of I-35. There is something for everyone with 7 different home builders and prices ranging from the low 300,000s to roughly $700,000. If you are at all considering these areas, whether it be new construction or existing homes, be sure to reach out to me so we can give you all of the behind the scenes information and nuances that aren't readily available online. So ultimately, you can make the best decision for yourself. Now, looking back at the last 6 months worth of sales activity, the average home price is $420,000 in this pocket. Not only is this price point obviously attracting buyers in comparison to more expensive areas like Austin, residents of Sunfield also get to have extra fun with the incredible amenities throughout the community. You have a lazy river, a big amenity center, multiple pools, several sport courts, planned social activities to really get out and meet people if that's your thing, dog parks and pet amenities, playgrounds, and miles of trails throughout the neighborhood. The fact that someone can purchase a brand new home at this price point, only 20 minutes from downtown Austin, and with all of these amenities within walking distance, is extremely unique. And that is definitely what makes this one of the most popular neighborhoods in all of the Austin metro. On that note, learning that Sunfield has been dubbed the most popular neighborhood in the Metroplex is actually not that unexpected with all of the features I just mentioned. Jumping over to Kyle, the newest premier neighborhood, Six Creeks, broke ground back in 2019 and is still under development by multiple builders. Six Creek is a community located off of Old Stagecoach Road, about 4 miles west of I-35, so on the opposite side of the highway from Sunfield. This west side of Kyle is further along in terms of development. So for the time being, you'll have easier access to shopping, dining, and those types of amenities. Upon build out, this community will actually have more than 2,000 homes on lots ranging from 50 to 80 feet wide. So really nice size and space between neighbors depending on which section you're in. New homes in this community range from the $400,000 mark all the way up to roughly $900,000. And the average home price here is $620,000. Again, be sure to reach out to us so we can give you our experiences with the local home builders and ultimately make sure you're protected along the way. On the east side of I-35 is another community where I have many wonderful clients and they've been incredibly happy there overall. This is one of the most popular new construction communities in Kyle right now. Builders here are offering a variety of modern floor plans ranging anywhere from roughly $325,000 all the way up to $725,000. This particular community is really centered around their amenity center, which features a large community pool with beach entry, dog park, even pickleball courts, a playground, grills, and so many little picnic areas too. It's a really great spot. There's also a really nice extensive trail system throughout the neighborhood for walking, running, biking, really anything your heart desires. So if you're exploring new construction or existing homes anywhere throughout the Austin area, be sure to reach out to us so you're in the know about builder offerings that are not available online, as well as their individual reputations, which is equally important. We'll make sure you are all set up. When you're moving to an area, of course, you're looking for a nice home that fits your needs. What's equally important, though, is the lifestyle and recreational component, and these areas certainly offer it. So let's talk about that a little bit more here. Beyond the essentials, let's dive into the leisurely side of life in Buda and Kyle. Dubbed the outdoor capital of Texas, Buda offers an abundance of green space and that historic charm. I mentioned that it started in the late 1800s as a small railroad town, and it's definitely done a good job of maintaining that in most locations, especially their little historic downtown. On that note, Buda is also nationally recognized as a historic site, with their historic downtown proudly featuring historic homes, buildings, and of course local shops for all of the visitors and residents to explore. Along Main Street in downtown Buda, there are plenty of options for great food and drinks. Meridian is actually one of Buda's newest destinations for wellness, community music, and experience seekers overall. Here during the day, coffee, tea, and baked goods are served in that quiet and quaint spot. It's a really neat location during the day, and then as the evening rolls around, the mood sort of transitions into your more eclectic, elegant atmosphere featuring cocktails, curated wine, beer, light eats, and definitely live music. As we know in the Austin area, that's very important to have, and it's certainly in Buda as well. Beautiful Buda, spelled Buda, Buda, also offers annual events like the Downtown Sip and Stroll, the Red, White, and Buda 4th of July Music Festival, and of course the annual Wiener Dog races, which definitely keeps visitors coming back time and time again. Of course, we're not going to leave Kyle out here. Kyle is actually famously known as the pie capital of Texas, probably not at all what you were expecting me to say. In Kyle, pie is celebrated in all kinds of ways, including on the plate at the Texas Pie Company, in city programs. Each Labor Day weekend, dozens of incredible hot air balloons actually hover over the city of Kyle for the annual Pie in the Sky Hot Air Balloon Festival. This festival actually features live music, of course, pie eating contests, pie throwing, everything involving pies, and kids play area fireworks. There's so much to do and definitely something to check out. But Kyle has more to offer than just this one Pie in the Sky event, of course. They also offer the Kyle Railroad Depot and Heritage Center. This is a restored railway station and museum, so kind of a cool local spot to check out if you're in the area. You also have Lake Kyle Park. This is a catch and release style fishing park, and it's open 7 days a week. There's really an activity for everyone at that particular park. In addition to fishing, you can canoe, hop on the playground, bike, walk, and just explore the nature trails on a really nice day. One of the truly unique experiences, though, is taking a visit to the County Line Polo Club just around the corner. Whether you're an adrenaline junkie, equestrian fan, or just lover of all sports, or maybe a social butterfly, you can go watch an up-close game of polo there at that park. Both Buda and Kyle are renowned for the community atmosphere that they offer, which I would say is very laid back and inviting overall in both locations. Buda has more of your old-fashioned downtown setting with local shops and charm. On the flip side, Kyle has more of that modern flair, but still offers a small town feel that you really can't help but love overall. No matter which city someone chooses, both do a great job of making anyone who visits feel at home. So if you're new to the area or you want to dive in further, make sure you spend a little bit more time in both Buda and Kyle. You might have been wondering about the schools and education in both Buda and Kyle, so stick with me because this is an important one to highlight. Both Buda and Kyle fall under the umbrella of the Hayes Consolidated Independent School District. Both offer specialized programs throughout their curriculum, and they maintain a robust educational framework overall, earning a commendable B rating from the Texas Schools Assessment. Now, to break it down a little bit further, there are 5 schools in the Hayes County District, the largest one being Johnson High School in Buda, with roughly 2,700 students and ranking among the top 25% of high schools nationally, according to U.S. News and World Report. The second largest is Hayes High School, also located in Buda, but in closer proximity to the northwest part of Kyle. Hayes High School has about 2,100 students and also ranked in the top 25th percentile nationally. Residents of Buda and Kyle also have a wide range of opportunities for higher education in the nearby vicinity. Of course, you have the University of Texas at Austin in downtown Austin, St. Edwards, and Concordia all in Austin, but there's also Austin Community College Hayes campus located between Buda and Kyle, so very convenient for those who are looking for those higher education options nearby. Let's also not forget that just 10 miles south of Kyle in the city of San Marcos, you're actually going to find the 4th largest public university in the state of Texas, and this is called Texas State University. Let me know in the comments what you've noticed in each of these locations, and if you know whether or not you prefer Buda to Kyle or vice versa. Ultimately, the decision rests on your preferences and priorities. Both Buda and Kyle offer tight-knit communities that originated from very humble beginnings, where you'll find fast friends and really be able to plug into all of those nice community events to meet people, again, if that's your cup of tea. If you prefer a more suburban feel, but just being a stone's throw away from Austin, Buda might be the better choice for you. On the other hand, if you value a lifestyle with slightly lower cost of living, with enough hometown retail, commercial, and variety of restaurants, Kyle could be the perfect match. Both cities, though, have strong economies, solid growth trajectories, good schools, and great outdoor recreational opportunities. And for those reasons, I think both are fantastic places to call home. Again, if you're making a move to or within the Austin area, my team and I would love to be your real estate resource of choice. So be sure to get in touch with us through the information below. As always, be sure to please like and subscribe. Until next time, happy house hunting.